Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be speaking about the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar, going over the ones that are worth more money than the rest. So if you got one in your change, I'll be informing you first a little bit of backstory and history, then we'll get into the ones that are valuable because of their condition, as well as the ones that have errors. So I'll highlight some mint errors that can be super rare. But the backstory, so these coins were made, they downsized the Eisenhower dollar, which was way too big for practical use and costly. It was produced from 71 to 78. They make these from 79 to 81, and then again in 1999 for 1 year. But they were theoretically a good way to have some higher value spending money like a lot of other countries do, and also use them in arcades and coin operated machines like vending machines. But people did not really like them. They were often hoarded because people thought, oh, maybe they're a little bit more valuable. It's a first year issue. That decreased their circulation. They were confused with quarters. And, in general, they just were not well liked. So they got phased out pretty quickly. But 1979, a fair amount of them were made. There's no varieties for 1979D, but it does feature the first woman on a U.S. coin who is a citizen. So they had done Queen Isabella II of Spain about 85 years earlier, but this coin, features the first citizen. She had been fighting for the 19th Amendment, the right to vote for women, as well as abolishing slavery in her earlier days of social activism. But this one is a pretty plentiful date, not too rare. There were hundreds of millions made, and you can find some pretty good ones just by searching around, because generally they are still worth only about $1. The ones that are worth more because of their condition are going to have to be certified, and the certified ones, I'll get into that in just a moment, but it's Mint State 67 really where the condition value takes off. The Federal Reserve still may have some in stock, but a lot of people don't want them. There might be some good ones sitting in there. But for context, the value I said takes off. It's really not that drastic to get to $75 for Mint State 67 coin. It's probably one of the cheapest ones in Mint State 67. A lot of the other Susan B. Anthony's are a lot more rare, but there's a fair amount of them available. NGC has one certified Mint State 68, and you're really looking for wear on the high points, such as the cheek, the hair, and in the fields, or not really wear, but like little contact marks from jiggling around in a bag and getting hits by other coins, or just planchet defects. But yeah, 288 million were made, so there's no shortage. And if you can go through a dealer's stock of uncirculated ones and pull out the really nice condition ones, that could be a good way to do it, but often dealers won't have that. This one is an error that was quite valuable, $1,200, sold recently. A straight clip, basically it was at the end or one of the sides of the sheet of metal that the planchets are carved out of or struck out of, and that's, this occurred, was able to be released, and people snapped it up and sold it for a good chunk of change. This one was struck way off center, was $440. So that was certainly worth it. This one was struck over on a 1978 D dime. You can see sort of the reverse there, as well as some of the lettering on the front of the coin. That's really unique and pretty uncommon, should not have happened. And that one sold for $11,750. Lastly, this is what's called a mated pair error. It looks like one of these coins was struck way off center, and like two planchets sort of came together in the striking chamber. One of them gets struck way off center as it's on top of this one, and you can see that one on the left, and then they somehow made their way out together. On the right, you have that obstruction, so there's no actual thing that gets imprinted over here, and then sort of a distorted metal shape on the reverse, but that was a $1,600 fine. But yeah, 1979D, a little less to get excited about in terms of cherry picking with condition, but $75 for Mint State 67 is no joke, and if you could hit Mint State 68, I think it would be, at PCGS, it would be worth a lot more than $1,500, because it would be a sole top pop. So that brings us to the end of this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on some similar videos in the future. Hope that this educated you as to what you're working with. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like the video, comment, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and some other social media platforms. You can also go to my main channel website, treasuretownYT.com, to learn more about the channel and sort of stay in contact. I also will eventually host all of these videos on coinsmetalscards.com, which will be both news, marketplace, and coin information. I do have the goal of eventually getting pretty much every US coin, date, mint mark, denomination on the channel with a similar video to the one that you just watched, and that will likely all be hosted there. And then I also have treasuretowncoins.com, which is sort of my coin dealing wing, coin dealing only entity that is a little bit less focused on content production. So thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos. I also have videos that are not just the date mint mark denomination recap in this format, so you can check some of those out, and I'll have fun seeing you there.